Hey YouTube, what's going on? Andrei here. Since I just got back from the trip, if y'all would notice through my last video, I just got back from my trip, and I'm looking to do a video for Nationals. I would say 2 or 3 parts. One would be what to expect in Nationals, how to prepare for the decks at Nationals, and how to prepare for Nationals. I'll do a 3-video thing. First thing is, the main problem will be if you're playing a deck that specials. That's basically, if you're not playing Cliffort, one of your main worries will be Jin out. If you're playing Necros, then you're going to want to play Eclipse. Now, the reason is because Regeki clears their field. Alright, both these are a Jin out. Sorry. Both these are a Jin out. But in their own way, they have a different mechanic. This one, Book of Eclipse, is a quick play spell. It flips all the monsters on the field face down. So what it does is, it'll make the Jin effect wear off. I'm sure if you've topped in a regionals, you've burned through Jin outs, so you know what this does. But for y'all who don't know, basically, if you flip the monster face down, remove it from the field, or anything, the Jin effect wears off. So, a lot of people play these cards as outs. Also, Dark Hole. The reason being is because if, while you're Jin locked, you can't special summon. Playing Necros, Shaddoll, Stellar, you need a special a lot. So Jin is just like Emptiness, but a lot worse. So you want to kind of fix your deck towards beating, or not beating it necessarily, but outing the Jin lock. So I have here 2 examples, and Dark Hole would be a 3rd example. I just 2 hands, and this is essentially a Dark Hole, but Dark Hole's a little bit worse. Okay, so in Necros, one of the first plays they're going to be doing is if they have Safety Net, which would be like a Lance, a Scolding, Gung, or Trish, they'll make Jin lock first turn, which will leave them with 3 cards in hand and Jin on the Colossus Jin on field. So, on your turn, you'll have 6 cards to their 4 in total. So, if you can out the Jin lock, they've burned through a card or 2. So, if you out the Jin lock, they'll be left with minimal resources. So, in Necros, you want to play Eclipse, because it leaves the cards on the field instead of clearing the board. So you can Trish them. So you can out the Jin lock, Trish them, and then hopefully you can either do a Valk play, where you go Unicorn, Manju, Senju, or Valk, push through, make your own play, or you can Trish them, bringing them down to 1 Mirror in grave, no monsters on field, and 1 card out of their hand. So, in Necros, in my Necros deck, I'm going to be running or siding at least 2 or 3 Eclipse. Just because Jin is cheap, and a lot of people will be taking the cheap way out to get to World Championships, and they'll be riding Jin. For those who are still playing Necros, in my personal opinion, I feel like Necros won't fall off, but I feel that there will be a more even showing of Shaddoll Seraphs. But anyways, in Shaddoll's or Stellar, I would run Regeki. Especially Shaddoll, because Colossus, if they somehow save the Colossus, they can negate your Winda, your Construct, your Deltroses, your Rhapsodies, whatever extra deck monster you make, they're going to negate it, bring it down to 0, and then you're at an extreme disadvantage with a level 3 monster running over your boss monster. So that's a problem. So you want to play Regeki or Dark Hole if you're playing Shaddoll. Dark Hole would also be good because it clears their board, and I don't know where I was going with that, because Shaddoll's only activate if there's for your opponent's card effect. So, excuse me, I'm stupid. I don't know Shaddoll's. But anyways, so if you're not playing Necros, you gotta play Regeki and or Dark Hole, and Eclipses if you want. But if you're playing Eclipse in a deck that is not exactly the hardest, like if you're playing Stellars, this is gonna be the worst option for you to run if you're playing Stellars, because if you leave the monsters on board and you go for a Trevor play, then the monsters will go right back to hand. They'll have a Lava Chain back in their extra deck, or whatever the extra deck monster is on field, most likely Lava Chain, and a Colossus in hand. So, the only thing that's really going to happen is they'll just lose their Jin. But, if you're playing Stellars, Regeki or Dark Hole, at least side outs, because a lot of people, like myself, will probably be playing cheap and Jin locking if you have the right cards to play it. So, how to prepare your main deck board for Necros. Main this no matter what, just because it's a retarded card. Main 1 if you feel like there'll be a heavy Necroz number showing up at the event. The first few rounds, people will probably be playing Rogue, like decks that have top regionals like Yang Zing, Fire Fist, random crap like that. So just be aware. Book of Eclipse is really good against Rogue. If they're playing something that needs combo pieces like tuners or something like that, you can just Eclipse when they summon, or BA. Let's talk about BA. If they don't have Tour Guide, or even if they do have Tour Guide, when they activate effect, you'll chain Eclipse, flipping down the Tour Guide. Then they'll have a face-up graph. 1, they can't drop any more BAs because they'll all auto-destruct. 2, when you run over a graph, the only thing they can do is search Skarm, and then if you somehow get over Skarm, Skarm will auto-destruct, excuse me. The Skarm will die, they'll search, but that means while the Tour Guide's face down, whatever they search will not matter. They'll have to crash the Tour Guide into you, and they'll have to get it off field somehow. So Eclipse against BA is going to be very crucial. And there's going to be probably a bunch of BA in the earlier rounds. That's just my opinion. I feel like the later the rounds, the more Necroz you play. The more middle of the rounds, you'll probably play more Shaddoll. And then after, let's say first 2 or 3 rounds, I feel like it'll be there'll be more BA and more Cliffort showing up. But once you get past those 2 or 4 rounds, you'll see more Necroz Shaddolls. I just feel like they're the most solid deck in the format. So, to recap, if you're not playing Necroz, if you are playing Necroz, you want to be playing Eclipse. So you can A, Trish them, B, set down your own Senjus and Manjus. Like, let's say late game, you need to set a Manju and then flip summon it. Like, you really need that one resource. You can play this, flip down your Jews, search any resource you need if you have it left, and then attempt for game, etc., etc. And if you're playing anything but Necroz, or Geki or Dark Hold, you're out. You can run Eclipse, but I just feel like if you were Geki them, you can push through with, like, let's say a 28 to 22. A Winda and a Construct. But if you flip them down, the Winda and Construct are going to run over the Colossus and the Lava Chain. And if they have Valk, that means they'll Valk the play, they'll have Colossus will flip summon, negate your Construct, negate your Winda, run it over. So that's what you need to worry about. That's it for this video. If there's anything I left out, let me know. I ranted a lot, so there wasn't much I can cram in this video. So, this is Andrei signing out. Peace out, YouTube.